Hey, we're live right
Linda,
now.
what's up? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Let me just share the link of the pump on stream. I mean, we're also streaming on X as well. How's it
Oh,
going? We're streaming
I,
everywhere, basically.
we're getting famous.
Yeah,
um, what's up? How are you? I actually we talk all the time on Telegram, but I haven't seen you in months. Which
I know.
we should probably fix that.
I know. I've seen you in person, I think just one time at an event.
Yeah, and that was and that was an event that I threw, DJ
Yeah,
Dungeon event.
that was fun. That was
But I
fun.
think we're both in the Hot Pot DAO, and I haven't gone to a Hot Pot event yet. But yeah, we got to figure out when the next one is for that. Maybe that's the next one.
They're honestly the best. I've met so many people through Hot Pot DAO, and I've made some really good friends. Ago is part of Hot Pot DAO, actually. That's how we became pretty good friends from that.
Were you the one who brought Ogle into Dungeon, or did I do that?
I think I think it was you because I think he was already in there by the time I was there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think I've ever met him in person. But like, the weather is starting to get a little bit cooler in New York. I'm wearing flannel for the first time in a while, so it's kind of becoming hot pot weather.
Yeah. Well, Ago's he's a non, so maybe you've met him, but you just didn't know.
That's true. I feel like you and I are two of the like only people in crypto, at least on like crypto Twitter, that use our faces everywhere that we go.
Yeah.
When I first made the I call it transition to do crypto full time, I was like, okay, like if this is my career, I'm going to have my face everywhere, instead of being like synonymous. This was back in late 2021, early 2022, when everybody had an NFT as a PFP. Um, it's funny because I was working on an NFT platform at the time, the Floor app. It was NFT portfolio tracking, but I used my face, and I found for business development, it ended up being my like superpower. It was like my secret weapon was just that I used my name and my face, because you'd go to a happy hour, you'd go to a dinner, and nobody knew who the person sitting next to them or like the other side of the room or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who anybody was, because everybody was synonymous with a synonymous PFP, a synonymous name. And so like, when they actually saw Steve in person, they didn't know that Steve was, actually, NFT guy 212. They're like, who's Steve? And so it made it to where like, very early on, I was kind of like, developing my network, getting my name for myself, etc. Um, that people would kind of gravitate over, just because I just the one face in the room that they recognized, which is so funny. We're in such a interesting space that was a core differentiator, but yeah, it's funny, and now here we are 4 years later, and have made so many friends here.
Yeah. How long have you been here? 4 years?
4 years. So I got my I joined crypto as a hobby, and I'm not sure if I can say investment vehicle, but like, got my first bit of crypto in the late 2017 bull run. And it was honestly a very tiny amount. Did it on Coinbase. I think I just had Bitcoin. I think that I had friends tell me to buy ETH. I probably should have listened at the time, but like this was Bitcoin in 2017. Didn't do anything with it. I worked in healthcare. Wasn't looking to go full time crypto. Like was not even on my radar. Like I was in business school, and there was a class on crypto, that was taught by like, I'm trying to think of who it was, but like actually like one of the more policy experts in the field. And I didn't even take that class. I was already in business school, and I still didn't even take that class. So that shows how much I was thinking about crypto back in 2018. But then when COVID happened, all of a sudden, like I'm a very extroverted person, and all of a sudden I'm on lockdown, and so had to figure out new types of hobbies, to put my energy and find new ways to make friends, I guess, and kind of dove into crypto because I was making friends online degenning, which is kind of funny because here we are, 5 years later, and now like the people that I stay close in touch with are the people that I'm degenning with, the stay in the trenches. But like, that's how I started trading. And one of these people that I made friends with was Chris Mattern, who ultimately founded the Floor app, which became Rally, which then after getting acquired by OpenSea, now he's the CTO over at OpenSea. But I made fast friends with him, largely from having fun exploring on-chain trading together. And so when he started working on Floor as a side project, I was helping him out on my nights and weekends. I was already kind of like really interested in diving into this anyways. And then when he decided to turn it into a company, then I ultimately had the decision. It's like, okay, like, do I stay in healthcare? Where in healthcare, I was at a company called Genentech, and he led the consumer marketing for an oncology drug. And so like very different, very highly regulated, very different type of space than what I've been operating in the past 4 years. But when he made that decision late 2021, had the opportunity to join him, moving from kind of like a hobby, a side hustle, and make a career out of it. And so, made that decision. And I've had a ton of fun doing it. And so here we are 4 years later. So yeah, I've been in this space professionally 4 years, but bought my first tiny bit of crypto approaching 10 years. I guess about 8 years ago, pretty much the day.
Oh wow, congrats.
Yeah, how about you?
I was a tech consultant for 4 or 5 years. And then
you at Deloitte, or
I was at KPMG and then EY. And
got it. I know you spent some time at the Big Four.
Yeah, and then same thing. COVID happened. I actually moved to New York, I moved to Miami like most New Yorkers, because New York was so boring. And then everyone was getting rich. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Everyone was talking about crypto, etc. And like the vibe of crypto in Miami is very different from the vibe of crypto of the people who are actually in it. Yeah. And I don't know, I sort of like wiggled my way in. I actually went on a date, some random date, and he was like,
from Crypto Twitter?
What?
With an anon from Crypto Twitter?
His business, I don't think he's in crypto anymore. Like he was like doing some game 4 years ago. Yeah. So, and he was like, I'm going to a conference tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I've been wanting to get into crypto. He's like, do you want to come? And I was like, sure. And I got a job on the spot. And I've been in crypto professionally ever since. I was working.
What was that first job?
Yeah. What was my first job? I was working at Mask Network.
Okay.
Yeah. SocialFi. And then I just kind of like went independent for a little bit. And now I'm working at OpsFund, which is options trading on high BVM. And yeah, just KOLing, influencing as well, live streaming.
How is the KOL influencer?
Trenching with you guys. I mean, KOLs get a lot of flack. I'm trying to actually get off being a KOL on crypto Twitter. I feel like it doesn't actually bring that many people into the space. Like we're not bringing in new money. I think it's if you're on YouTube or you're on TikTok and these other platforms that appeal to more of the normies. Because, we saw what happened with XRP and everyone on crypto Twitter was sidelined because they're not doing marketing on crypto Twitter. They're doing marketing on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. So yeah, I think I want to go that route instead.
It's so funny. Like, what was it, about a year ago when the market was really heating up, XRP was the token that I had a lot of people in my, outside crypto Twitter life reach out to me about. I was like, I don't really get it, but I guess it's kind of like the ultimate meme coin. So if you like meme coins, like go for it. And XRP was, it kind of took over. Do you think that that marketing, do you think that was a marketing strategy that like was done at the foundation level, or I actually don't know how XRP is structured, but like, do you think that was a marketing strategy in itself, or do you think that they had just like a core community that has kind of survived, with some of the stuff that happened with XRP a few years back? Like, they've been through a lot of stuff together and have survived a long time, and so like they were just like such a passionate community that was actually built like at the ground roots level instead.
I think it was a little bit of both, and also I think one key factor here is that normies have they have price bias. If a normie sees that Bitcoin, or they don't know about market caps, a lot of them, if a normie sees that Bitcoin's at like 100K and ETH is at 3K, they're not compelled to buy those coins. It seems too expensive. And then they see XRP, and XRP is like $3. It looks cheap. So people buy that instead because they don't really understand it. So I think that's also a key factor, and they sort of appeal to people who don't really understand.
Some of the videos of what happens if the price of XRP gets the price of Bitcoin. It's like, well, look at the supply. Look at the difference in supply sizes.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And what's it called? The videos of like the priests. The priest talking about how God revealed to them that XRP is going to be $10,000 or whatever. So yeah,
was that a big campaign? I don't think I saw that.
No, there's like so many TikTok videos of like people talking about how God revealed to them that XRP is going to be XYZ number, a ridiculous number that's probably never going to happen. It's funny. But yeah, it's not the same. They're marketing to like a different subgroup of people.
Have you done any marketing like in crypto? Like have you gone after those verticals? Like, have you done whether that's for like the Lindau brand or like some of the companies like that you've worked with? Have you done anything across like the Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, whether that's like your own brands or even just like, we were just talking about KOL influencers, like working with some of those that, that's more their audience.
I think most of the marketing I've done has been on Twitter. Twitter just feels super natural to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking to branch out because the money is outside of crypto Twitter. And people, if you want people who truly believe in your product, or people who will hold, I don't think they're not on crypto Twitter. I feel like. Crypto Twitter are like they're swing traders. So yeah. And I don't fault them, because like we've seen really big companies that we believed in just like completely go under. So everyone tries to like hedge their risk. They make profit and then they move on to the next. Whereas like people outside of crypto Twitter are like they're long-term holders. So
yeah, I'll talk to friends and they're like, oh, like 3 months ago I bought a coin, and I'm like, man, I'm scared to buy a coin and then go to sleep. I'm like, a lot of times, like, it's a very complete different mindset. And the kind of the funny thing is, like, crypto Twitter, probably, I'm not going to say like probably had the mindset a year ago of hold forever for like a lot of these tokens that, aren't maybe like one of the majors. But I think that we've also, I think like a year ago, I think we all had a longer holding time than we do now. And like, we've steadily decreased that just because like, a lot of tokens like because we've had the experience and it's like, okay, like maybe we should hold it for less time, and like, it ends up decreasing quicker. And that's ended up building kind of like a self-fulfilling feedback loop where, okay, now because people had bad experiences in the past, everybody's scared to hold for a long time. So they're going to sell quickly, which then is going to make, it ends up being a reinforcement cycle. If other people are selling quickly, then that's going to impact the chart. And so then you're going to want to sell quickly before they do. They're going to want to do it before you do. And it's, how do you break out of that type of like reinforcement loop that we've kind of gradually been in for the past year? and I'm hoping to see some like some mechanisms that can be done at like a protocol or at a contract level, et cetera, that brings different type of reinforcement feedback to kind of break us out of that behavior and kind of begin starting a reinforcement behavior that might be more aligned with holding a little bit longer.
Yeah, I made a joke in the dungeon the other day, and I was like, traders need to get rewarded for holding coins. It's just so nerve-wracking to hold coins these days. If someone can build something like that, like the longer you hold, the more rewards you get. I don't know.
That's the great thing about crypto is that everything, everything's decentralized. Like the holding time, the hold wallets that hold all that's information on the blockchain. And so like somebody ambitious can leverage that data and then start a new type of like airdrop campaign that I think a lot of people would be really excited to participate. I mean, everybody's excited to participate in airdrop campaigns, and so like you leverage historical data that's and it's all publicly available. That sounds like a campaign for a new token that a lot of people would rally behind.
Yeah, I would definitely rally behind that. What's happening with airdrops? It just seems like nothing's like, is it season by season? There's just nothing going on right now when it comes to.
I was wondering the same thing. Like the ability to make contracts, to make new tokens so easily has made it to where like, our expectation of like when a new exciting token is going to come out is just very different than how it might have looked in like a pre-pumped up fun world. Like, a year and a half ago, any token that was launching, like there was considerable amount of like developer resourcing that went into it. And so like, there would be a whole like hype go to market, like all that type of thing. And an airdrop was typically a part of that go to market process. And so it was ingrained into any token that was launching. Like there was typically like an airdrop aspect to it. And now, since there's no friction in being able to create one, like, we're just used to seeing probably 20,000 new tokens a day. I forget the most recent statistics, but like, they're nonstop. They're one after another. And so, like, it's no longer part of that's like, random type of go to market, like, to launch a token for a token's sake. The only ones that like you really see for airdrops are more at the protocol level, like something that had backing, like et cetera. So it's a different type of. So those still exist, and like those had existed before, but the like just like typical like I'm a builder and I'm going to like launch an airdrop as part of a like some type of go to market type of fun thing. You don't see as much of right now.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to change or?
I don't know. I don't know because like those like I look at so right now like Bonk.fun like announced a lot of really exciting stuff with like their partnership with like World Liberty Financial, and they're like leveraging like USD one as as liquidity pools for the Bonk Fund launch, like binding curve tokens. And I was watching that and I was like, oh, like I remember like back in the day, like one like Bonk was just like a random like airdrop that they airdropped to communities. It wasn't part of like a protocol. It wasn't like a blockchain. Like it was just like a meme coin. It was like I remember they like that happened, and then there was some other ones like I think like LFG, like that wasn't Bonk necessarily, but like that was also on the Solana blockchain. Like it was just like a token that like wasn't for a specific like protocol, anything like that. And I was like, those were like moments in time that were really fun. And like Bonk was obviously like really successful. And I was like, wow, with all this stuff going on with these exciting announcements, I was like, I wonder if I was just thinking like personally, I was like, I wonder if like they're going to leverage like airdrops is like part of this like new go-to-market that they're doing. And so I do think that it's a practice that like as we removed the friction to launch to launch meme coins and other tokens, like just the non-protocol like airdrops, like the more like just using an airdrop for a meme coin, like people have gravitated away from that model because there's been less friction. But I think that bringing it back like could be really successful, and it like breaks into a new mold of like what we currently see today. So I think that you'll see eventually somebody's going to do it and do it successfully again, and then when they do it successfully, then you'll see a lot of copycats. And so like I do think that we'll see another time where those return.
Yeah. I'm hoping it comes back. Obviously, there are companies who've been able to figure it out and have really successxl airdrop campaigns, such as Hyperliquid. Right now, I'm farming Lighter, Lighter.xyz. Are you farming that for perps?
No, should I be?
Yeah, everyone's farming it.
What? I saw somebody talking about it very recently, and I made a mental note to go check it out, but I actually didn't yet. What is it?
I haven't tried it yet, but PerpStacks.
Okay.
So I haven't tried it, but I'm definitely gonna start farming that as well. I can't miss another $1 million.
What chain is it on?
I don't know what chain it's on actually.
How are you farming it?
I haven't started it. I haven't farmed
Got it.
I haven't farmed it yet, but yeah. What has been your biggest win this week in the trenches?
Man, I had such a good weekend, and then I have ruined it. And so I was very vocal about the creator capital markets meta. Like very much like specifically on like Pump.fun too. Like I think that there's a lot of exciting stuff going on there. And like, if you follow the team or the Pump Fun account, like you can see that they're putting a lot of resourcing into this. And so like typically when I see a company put a lot of their resourcing into like a specific vertical, it's like, okay, like this is obviously going to be a strategic pillar. There's going to continue to be momentum and attention here. So that's kind of where I want to place some bets. And so I placed bet Pump Fun streaming coins, and like over the weekend they exploded, and I did it before the weekend. And so like I was, it was good. It was a good trade for me. But then I bought back into them 2 days ago. And I thought I was buying the dip. I thought I sold the top and then bought the dip. But the dip has continued dipping.
Keeps on dipping.
Yeah, and so it was a good trade. It's looking less or so like it, but like I'm very much I think on the like CCM meta, I still feel like it's very early leagues there, and I think that there's a lot of levers that can be pulled, and I think there's a lot of different things that could happen to get people really excited about it, to where like I'm still comfortable with the bets, and like it's an area that I think is pretty exciting.
And how do you think? Obviously, Bonk and Pump are rivals. How do you think Bonk comes from this? Because Bonk obviously has a partnership with Kick. Maybe they're going to set something up within Kick where you can launch coins. How do you think Bonk like gains more market share from this?
I didn't. So what I would say is, if you look at since Bonk launched, call it 6 months ago. I actually don't know. I want to say it was like in April or May, but not 100% confident on that. But like call it 6 months, and you're able to see over a 6 month time period, like the market share dynamics continuing to shift between Pump Fun and the Bonk Launchpad. And so I think that like I think that like that dynamic of like both of them having different moments can definitely continue. And I don't know I don't know if the Bonk approach is going to be on the creator capital markets or if it's something else that they're doing. But like, I think that the the Launchpad market shares is something really interesting to watch. And I like both of them, and so I trade on both. And I know that you've been sharing some Bonk meme coins recently too.
Yeah, I've been trying to buy all the Bonk because like obviously Pump is like having its run right now, and like I always tell people they're all metas. Right now there's like the streaming meta. I'm not saying it'll die forever, but it'll slow down obviously in like a week or two, maybe sooner. And then I feel like Bonk will like come up with something, and everyone will focus their attention on Bonk. Traders just go where they want to make money, where there's an opportunity to make money. So if like one launch pad is pumping over the other, that's where traders will go. I'm just curious what Bonk is going to do. But the core people in the Bonk ecosystem, they've been tweeting a lot, and I don't know, I've just been kind of scoping out some coins and buying some. Like I told you, like I mentioned in the chat, I actually locked some of my coins, like dev locked them, because I'm like, I don't want to sell this. And that's how I lose money. I'm always like rotating. Like I'm selling this coin and then buying this one. And then I just end up giving back my profits. So there's like one conviction coin that like, I placed a bet on, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be obvious, right?
Yeah, guys, the coin is called Obvious.
Yeah, I've never locked my own coins. That's a bold move.
New strategy.
Going back to what you had said earlier about like how to incentivize people to hold longer, like there's very much an opportunity for somebody to launch a product that if you lock your meme coins, and you'll end up getting yield from that. And like the meme coins themselves would like be very interested, I think, in providing yield to people for holding. And so like that's one approach that somebody could take. Yeah.
I know there's certain platforms where you can stake your meme coins. I think I've seen some on the Aptos ecosystem. So yeah, that's interesting.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it. I don't think Aptos is like that big in memes yet for me to lock my coins. But yeah, I haven't tried it. But yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder if like the meme coin meta is ever gonna die, and I also wonder what Base is gonna do. Because like Base is obviously, pushing Zora and creator capital markets. So on their end. So we'll see what happens there. If anyone from Zora is watching, I'm really upset about what was it? Uniswap Foundation coin.
What was that?
So Uniswap Foundation launched a coin on Zora, and I bought the top. I think I bought it at like 1.5 million, and it's like 100K right now. And I think that's what like steers traders away. Like if it's a company of that magnitude, that coin has to go up. It has to like do 10 million.
Oh, you're talking about like the Zora coin?
Yeah, otherwise just don't do it, I feel. Because like at the end of the day, we're just trading speculation. That's all it is. And like you kind of kill your speculation when, the top guys don't have their coins like running.
Save the Trenches has a coin, right? Like I'm pumping you need a coin.
Save the Trenches, I front ran the meta. So the coin is not doing well. Don't look at the coin. But I'm talking to the pump team, and I think I might relaunch it. So stay tuned.
Oh, is that alpha for people listening right now?
Hey, it could be alpha, but I'm thinking about relaunching the coin. So
when you do that, how are you thinking about like, if you do a relaunch, are you thinking about like a broader media strategy, or like, are you gonna like how are you gonna leverage this to the new channel and like, do something crazy that could, really bootstrap like a new media channel?
Right. So I've been talking to Pump about possibly doing a show. So obviously, State of the Trenches was with me and On Chain Princess, and now it's just there's no beef. There's just nothing. Now it's just me really. So I'm thinking about finding someone to do this show with, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
Interesting. How often do you do the show?
State of the Trenches.
Yeah.
Well, I try to stream every day. I haven't been streaming recently, but I try to stream every day. But I'm thinking of like doing an actual show, like a show that kind of showcases the life of someone who trenches in like, I don't know. Think of like, have you ever seen the show with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie? It's called A Simple Life.
I've heard of it. It's like that's like the OG reality show.
Yeah,
Like
OG reality show. OG reality show about girls who trench. So we'll see what happens.
interesting. Keep me in the loop on that. Like I'm very interested. I've been learning. Honestly, I've been learning a lot as I've been kind of like diving into this CCM meta. We're trying to like learn more about Clippers and like their relationship with the different creators that they work with, and what creators are looking to drive, like how they're considering the tokens that they launch, how they think about their multi-channel media strategy. Like, okay, if you have something on Pump Fun, like how do you think about like TikTok and like, or like how did those like audiences intersect? And so like this is something that I've been just spending a lot of time just trying to learn more about, and so as you kind of like continue to pursue that path, keep me in the loop.
Yeah, of course. And I think clippers are there to help you go viral. So I think they just clip your content, your long form content, and make it more digestible and just redistribute it on TikTok and all these other social platforms. And that's how you leverage your audiences there. So
yeah, that's becoming like a pretty big business, huh?
yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Clippers are making a lot of money. I have a friend who's a clipper. He's doing pretty well.
How long is that? Sorry, what?
Sorry, go ahead.
You're saying how long has that been like a large business, I guess? Like when did that explode?
To be honest, it's been around for a while. I think we're just starting to notice. So, IShowSpeed and what's the other one's name? The really big streamer. And like Drewski, they've all been using Clippers. And what they do is they pay Clippers per view. And like now because like Clippers are becoming more in demand, they're not just like, you can't just pay them per views. You have to like give them like a certain stipend per week or whatever you want to call it, but that's what it was. So Clippers were really motivated to help you go viral because they were getting paid based off the views that your videos were getting. So that's how a lot of these streamers went viral from Clippers. So because not everyone's gonna watch your 5-hour stream.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a rabbit hole that I've kind of spent a lot of time on crypto Twitter over the past few years, and as I'm thinking about these additional channels, when I'm thinking about like how do we make this a very inviting and welcome place to bring in other people into our space. This is one area that I think would be really helpful in that, and so trying to get my old what is it, my boomer mind to understand it. My TikTok is honestly, I only use TikTok for crypto. Like I think I follow some crypto influencers to stay on top of some of the trends that are over there, but I don't think I've ever posted anything. I don't think I follow like a single one of my friends. I think even the people that I follow on TikTok are just like the TikTok KOLs for meme coins and crypto.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. So how do you feel about the streaming meta? People are already saying that it's dead on Pump.
I think so. I think that like when you look at the number of people streaming, the number of people that are viewing streams right now, I think that like the area for opportunity is so massive, right?
Yeah.
There's probably like there might be 20 streams that are consistent. So like like just like how Pump Fund made launching a token easy, like they've made it easy to launch a stream. And so like there's probably 20 streams coming out a minute, but like 19.9 of those probably don't exist 10 minutes later. But like there are some that are being consistent, but like I think that like that is still probably less than 100 of the ones that like that are doing a consistent cadence, that are at the foundational level of like developing a channel, developing a media brand, etc. And so that's so small in the grand scheme of things, especially like when you look at just like the macro world, people becoming creators, people like working for themselves, people like doing those types of things. Like that's only in macro, like that's only increase. And I think that still is on like a very, very strong trend line to continue to increase, like, over a multi-year time period, if not longer. And so I think that market is still very early. The number of people that are watching streams, like I think the most watched streams that I've seen, like when Bad Work and things like that are doing some crazy stuff, it still is only like 2,000 people watching a stream at the same time.
Yeah.
And like typically when I'm hopping into a room, I'm seeing only a couple of people watching it, and so like there's still so much opportunity for viewers too. And so there's a lot of white space, a lot of like there's a huge delta between where it can get where it is today. And so like I don't think it's late into a meta. Like it's okay, does this take off or does it not? Because the meta hasn't even started. But when you look at like the resourcing going into streaming, like when Pump Fund announced their TGE, when they announced Pump, like they showed that 3% of Pump was going towards live streaming, and that's a very significant pool to be able to invest. Like I don't know what the Pump token's at right now, but like that's a huge pool of investment that they're going to be investing into live streaming that they've already shown a commitment towards. And so when you think about, there's only in the thousands of viewers, there's only in the tens, maybe hundreds of people taking the streaming seriously, but they have a pool that's 3% of their token supply that's going to be going into building out this business. It's like, okay, wow, that type of investment can make this grow very significantly, very quickly. I don't know how they're investing into that. Like, I don't know any of those details, but like, that's a commitment with a large amount of resourcing that's going into this. And right now we're still just like, it's barely getting used. And so I think there's opportunities for it to grow very significantly. And so I've been kind of like, as a spectator, like I don't have my own channel. I think you're the second channel that I've hopped onto. I was with Dancing Eddie last night. And so like, I started to hop onto a couple of streams. I've been watching different streams. I'm just trying to see how different people are approaching it. What type of ideas people have, what the audience is like, etc. But it feels like it's a big bet. And they're putting a lot of resources behind it. And so like, the potential could be like, this isn't like a money financial, it's just a, potential, like it's just the meta, like it's, streaming on Pump Fund, like that still has just so much potential. It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We'll see what happens, and I think it's an amazing way to get to onboard people. There are so many people downloaded Pump Fund and, you know, started live streaming. So many people have like now have like crypto wallets because of Pump, and they've made it super easy. You could just like log in with your you can log in with your email, or you can log in with your socials, and it creates a wallet for you that way. So I don't know. I think it's really awesome, and I personally I'm super bullish. And like you said, I think the meta has just started, and obviously there's going to be times where, you know, the market's pumping and like these coins are pumping, and there's going to be times where like it's not. So the meta just comes and goes, but I think this one's here to stay. But when it comes to trading wise, yeah, there's going to be times where, you know, people are making a lot of money, and then there's times where people aren't. So
That's the state of the trenches in
yeah,
general.
literally the state of the trenches.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't have any more questions. What about you? Do you have any questions for me, and like what you're excited about this year?
Yeah, so it's kind of asking questions as we went. So like no like major questions, but you know, I guess like I guess for anybody that's watching this that doesn't know me, like I lead like the marketing, go to market, etc. for token trading at OpenSea. And so I'm really excited with like what we're shipping over there. It's kind of crazy. Where I think like we launched the ability to trade tokens on OpenSea like 4 months ago, which was when I had joined the team. And at this point, like we support close to like 20 different blockchains. I forget the exact amount today. Like it might be like 19. And like it's quickly becoming like the way that a lot of people are spending their time on OpenSea. We have a lot of cool trading features that are going to be rolling out pretty soon. So like that's where my focus is, and I guess that's what gets me really excited. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Between these new features, and then like we have OpenSea Mobile coming out. We launched a new rewards program this week too, which was really exciting. It's been crazy, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I've tried the new trading platform. It looks great. So what's happening with everyone wants to know what's happening with like the token.
Unfortunately, it's not something I can talk about.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's totally fine.
Yeah,
totally fine. Didn't mean to catch you off guard with that.
Oh, no worries. You are not the first person to ask. You will not be the last person to ask.
Yeah.
But it's just like unfortunately something I can't talk about.
It's hush hush for now, guys. We'll find out later.
Yeah, unfortunately, no alpha for you on that.
All right, well, awesome.
Well, cool. Thanks for having me. This was fun. And we kind of leveraged it as a good catch up too, which was nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will catch you in the trenches in the dungeon, and I will also. I think I'm in one of the OpenSea chats too, so we'll chat there. Thanks everyone for joining.
I will see you in the trenches.
All right. See you. Bye.